The first episode kicks off with Collins waking up after yet another restless night. He starts his day by preparing lunches for both his son and daughter before heading out for a morning run. As he jogs along his usual route, he passes by the iconic White House. During his run, he takes a moment to chat with Agent Billy Pace, who informs him that he's leaving his shift early due to an upset stomach. He mentions that Agent Jane Driscoll is coming in to take over for him. Once back at home, Collins's daughter reminds him about her debate competition scheduled for 3 p.m. He assures her that he will be there to support her. After that, he turns his attention to his son, who is engrossed in reading James and the Giant Peach. Collins feels a bit unsettled by his son's choice of book, causing him to zone out momentarily as he prepares to head to work. As Collins arrives at the White House, he notices that two fellow agents mention it's unusual for President Bradford to still be asleep at this hour. Concerned, Collins goes to check on the president, but when he knocks, there is no response. He enters the bedroom only to find President Bradford lying on the floor in a disturbing pool of blood. The scene then flashes back 5 years to when Collins was in the Oval Office for an interview to become Bradford's new lead agent. During this meeting, Collins asks Bradford why he chose him to be on the shortlist for this important position. Bradford explains that apart from his current lead agent being rather dull and aging, he believes Collins is the best of the best. He also candidly mentions that having a black agent like Collins would benefit his image, as he is trying to portray himself as a progressive leader in the South. Although Collins is uncomfortable being chosen for such reasons, Bradford does not hold back in expressing his straightforwardness. Their conversation wraps up with a light exchange of jokes, including one about the location of Syria and another about who the 8th President of the United States was. Fast forward to the present, Collins checks the President's vital signs, confirming the grim reality that Bradford is indeed dead. As he surveys the bedroom, he notices 2 wine glasses, a trail of blood leading to the balcony, and a cigarette butt on the floor. Additionally, he spots 2 pairs of earrings carelessly placed on a table along with a pack of cigarettes. In a state of panic, Collins rushes to the closet and discovers that the president's safe has been tampered with and broken into. Just then, Jane radios Collins to check if everything is all right. He responds that he needs a moment to gather his thoughts before firmly instructing her to lock down the residence. She asks if she should notify Robinson, adhering to standard protocol, but Collins insists that she refrain from contacting Robinson for now. Instead, he orders her to secure the White House for 30 minutes while he prepares to call Robinson himself. Collins tells Jane that he only wants himself and Pace to enter the president's bedroom, to which she agrees. He then reaches out to Pace, signaling a state of emergency with the phrase "Christian Lettner," prompting Pace to rush back to the White House. A flashback reveals Collins's first week in his role as the lead agent for President Bradford. During this initial encounter, the president inquires about Collins's family. Collins shares that he has a wife and 2 children, which prompts Bradford to reflect on his own troubled family dynamics. He guesses that Collins's wife did not vote for him, indicating a disconnect. Back in the present, Collins heads to the basement to review security footage with Agent Garcia. The scene flashes back once again to the day of the murder, where President Bradford is shown having a heated discussion with a woman. Returning to the present, Garcia shows Collins a video of the president attempting to cook dinner for his son, only for the son to leave abruptly. Later on, Bradford is seen laughing and enjoying a drink with a different woman as they enter the bedroom together. It becomes clear that she is wearing the earrings found at the crime scene. As the footage continues, it appears that Collins was the last person to see President Bradford before he retired for the evening. The episode shifts back to a tense news conference where President Bradford faces tough questions about an incident that took place in Utah. As he tries to respond, Collins notices a man posing as a cameraman who suddenly pulls out a gun. In a split second, Collins tackles the president to the ground, saving his life but sustaining a gunshot wound to his back in the process. Later, as Collins lies recuperating in the hospital, Bradford expresses his shock at seeing the blood and remarks that it felt as though he was losing a basketball player named Christian Leard when he made a winning shot for Duke against Kentucky. Agent Pace arrives at the scene of the murder and Collins informs him that the contents of the safe are missing, which indicates that whoever committed this crime had considerable access to the president. Collins instructs Pace to search the grounds but emphasizes that no photos or notes should be taken. Garcia then calls Collins back to the basement to analyze more video footage. They discover that Collins left the president's room at 10:04 and was relieved by Pace at 10:32. During this time, Pace is shown to have taken an hour-long nap on the couch, while the security cameras were offline from 10:42 to 12:13. Interestingly, Jane also logged in for work during this time frame. After leaving Garcia, Collins stumbles upon a conversation between Pace and Jane. He insists that it is time to officially report the murder. When the coroner arrives, Mrs. Bradford stands outside the residence, demanding to know what happened to her husband. But no one provides her with any answers. Collins is escorted upstairs, where he is questioned by two agents, as he was the last person to have spoken to President Bradford. It is at this point that Agent Robinson makes her first appearance. She is the woman who had been seen entering the president's bedroom and is now revealed to have left her earrings behind. Another flashback shows the final conversation between Bradford and Collins in the president's bedroom. Bradford retrieves a tablet from his safe, indicating that he has information on the news of the world. He pours himself a drink and encourages Collins to join him, but Collins declines the invitation. Bradford expresses disappointment that they no longer talk as they used to and that Collins has stopped calling him Sir. He presses Collins to speak his mind freely, but Collins, feeling annoyed, again refuses. The president then asks if Collins will ever be able to forgive him for what transpired in the past. As the conversation progresses, Collins shares that James and the Giant Peach was the book his wife referenced when naming their son. Additionally, Collins reveals his struggles with insomnia, expressing that he may never find a restful night's sleep until Bradford is gone. In a subsequent flashback, Collins returns to work after recovering from his gunshot wound. He is ushered into a room filled with high-ranking officials who ask if he is interested in receiving the highest security clearance, which grants access to information known only to about 100 individuals. Although he hesitates, the woman who had previously been seen arguing with the president encourages him, pointing out that having children makes this clearance even more necessary. Collins ultimately agrees, and Bradford inquires if he is aware of Colorado. Returning to the present, Collins is dismissed for the day and jogs back home. On his way, he notices a woman using a bracelet to unlock her car, a child paying for ice cream with a bracelet, and a man walking in a pond collecting fake ducks. As he pauses in the street, he pulls out a pack of cigarettes he retrieved from the crime scene. Examining one of the cigarettes, he discovers a series of numbers written on it. At that moment, he notices an electronic sign behind him indicating that dawn has been postponed by 2 hours. Flashing back to a high-level meeting, Collins learns that preparations are underway for a catastrophic event that could potentially lead to human extinction. To prepare for this, a massive underground city is being constructed beneath a mountain in Colorado. The camera pans up to reveal the complex dome structure designed to accommodate this operation.